Blog Talk Radio.
I wanna call my home. Study war no more. Live in shalom. Only 144,000 of Jacob will make it in. Is Christ your friend? No need to pretend. Here's the question: did you walk in faith or did you walk in sin? Did you keep the law or did you pick and choose? Did you tell the truth about who's the real Jew? There's no excuse. You had the clues, but you closed the book and turned on the news. And when Christ breaks the sky, every satellite will fall from space, hit the earth and die, and then fight after disaster from the master. Puzzle faces looking for the rapture. True, the day that Christ provides birth so they can partake heaven here on earth.
American dream, a family, a dog, a picket fence, and house that is clean. That's the root of happiness is envy, a strife. The root of evil is money, it ain't the most highway. 144,000 will bask in his glory. Life is an apartment building, cause there's more than one story. I accepted the most high, and what was I on? Data past like Mike, and I'm the future like LeBron. I follow the commandments, cause the most high said so. Red Bull and Xbox will get your wings in a halo. My people decline, and it's making me sick. Just because you repent ain't putting you on that list. Ain't no cutting in line, ain't no paying the dough, man. Don't matter if you're rich or whether you're poor, man. If you obedient and you're filled with the faith, then the upper room will be your final resting place, and that's heaven.
The throne of the Father. You still sinning? Don't even bother. You not going if you follow Sean Carter. A little Wayne, he another Carter. From Obama back to Jimmy Carter. America not Babylon, it's just the daughter. Told us looking bitches that trying like 3/4. Some gon' die, you make it call a martyr. Don't elevate your mind, let it cross expansion. I want a room in a heavenly mansion. Don't try to figure it out your path, don't let it choose you. You can play it back, I'm not trying to confuse you. Poetical prophet, proof that we the gifted. Cerebral technician, the microphone I lifted. Think you're using place to get in, you can save it. Signing off quad to 6-foot David.
Let me tell you what it feel like. Real right, so I'm back in the field like. Examine yourself before the judge come in the heat of the night like O'Connor. So I'm gonna show you how to live it when I spit it through the spirit. Hope you feel it, cause it's the spirit that teaches when you hear it. So when it's death is, it's death there. So don't step there. But self-rearrange and let the most high change you, my brother. Cause that's what I utter with them dead bone tang. Eat them, the strange fruit that used to hang. Now spitting out truth for the youth to change. To see us like heaven. When them guns down, when the word is your weapon and the Lord to your weapon. Not Baal, but our masters in heaven. And there's no more jails for the nation. That's heaven. That's heaven. Heaven.
It's the music of the Israelites. You can find them at YouTube.com talking about heaven with a little taste of the Ohio Players. Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you, wherever you are on the World Wide Web. You are listening to Let's Talk by the Men Empowered Radio Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network at blogtalkradio.com. My name is Malachi. I am your host for another edition of Let's Talk right here on Blog Talk Radio. It is a January the 27th, 2013. If you'd like to join in on our show conversation while we are here live, you can hit us up at 347-205-9279, or you can chat with us right there in the chat room at blogtalkradio.com. So if you're ready to make a comment, press 1 on your phone and we will plug you right into our show conversation. And as always, our office here at the Men Empowered Organization is area code 504-484-9388, as well as our email address is menempoweredtoprosper@yahoo.com. Yes, we are Men Empowered at Twitter.com. Tonight's show is the Book of Jasher, and we are in Chapter 12. Chapter 12 of the Book of Jasher, and we are going to start with 41, but we're going to bring you in at verse 38. The Book of Jasher, verses 38. And before we get started with that, I want to remind you we are here Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday right here on Blog Talk Radio every Sunday at 7 p.m., Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I want to remind you also that my elders, the Gathering of Christ Church, are here at Blog Talk Radio nightly. You can check them out for the time and subjects that they're going to be talking about at Blog Talk Radio /GOC Church. That's blogtalkradio.com/GOC Church, or look in the search and just look for Gathering of Christ Church. Reminding you real quickly to go ahead and get registered to let them know if you want to attend the Hebrew Academy, which will start its new class in February. So you definitely want to check that out in February by sending them an email. If you're interested in the Hebrew Academy coming up, presented by the Gathering of Christ Church, go ahead and send them an email at the Gathering as one, the number one, at AOL.com. And also their official website is www.gatheringofchrist.org. Now I'm going to take a quick music break real quick, and we're going to get back and go ahead and get started in chapter 12, starting at 38, blending in and going into chapter 13. We're just about finished with chapter 12, but we're going to take a music break here real quick. We're going to be playing a little bit of my boys' first CD that I ever played here on this radio broadcast. Let's hear a little bit of Clarity featuring Kasha and the Rare Jewels organization right out of the UK. Here's With You All the Way, Clarity featuring Kasha.
This is Nana. You're in tune to Rare Jewels with Clarity and Jens on the beat. Keep it locked.
This is how the UK do it. Rare Jewels Project. Come on. Come on.
Jasher. Ayo, she cried in the street after watching the pain. Couldn't believe what I'd seen. Her soul tortured by flames. Obviously, she made screams, each cutting my lobe. She said, somebody help me to find hope. Yo, so I approached. Asked her if she needed my coat, cause it was raining. And life had a shivering cold. Said here's a fact, if you spoke, I see you looking a hero with me. I find it in the mirror when I look real close. She turned to me. I tell stories and songs. She said, well, if you look and find that your reflection is gone. Must admit it had me shook, feeling pain that strong. Cause when she spoke, it's like compassion was a slave to her tongue. I said, talk to me, tell me where it all stems from. She said, Walk with me, where do I start? She wished her heart would stop beating like that of her son's, and she had drunk herself sober, wishing sanity come. She said she held him as his last breath left from his lungs, but didn't know he was involved in the road and the gun. She blamed herself for not keeping him away from the slums, and wished his father would have helped, but he was always a bum. She knows now why he told he was tired of crumbs. Wish she could have gave him everything that he'd ever want. What could I say? My heart bled with every thump. She said if I was on the roof now, I surely would jump. She said his name, I dare not say it again. I saw the pain, life had written it on her face. She said today, the day took my sunshine away. The night sky came and ever since then it stayed. Memories leave a stain, faces tried to be brave. I can't even touch his room, it's still exactly the same. I fade and I fade as each hour passes. It plays and it plays. Yo, the scene just won't leave me alone. I held my breath, had to think about my words when I spoke. I said, do you feel it so? When you feel the wind blow? She replied, I see him in my dreams at night. He and I fly, then I awake to reality's light. Watching her speak, I realize to die to the beat for 9. It's common like sensos, the sound of a mother crying. Streets is cold, I hear him spitting fiery rhymes, giving sight to the blind, as vivid as every line. I read the signs that life throws up. These are the times I know love's praying for the dough, cause the road is full of donuts. Niggas from prison smoking roll-ups didn't learn their lesson back in jail before they can get their throat cut. Maybe we dumb, maybe we stupid. The stuff for the money surely ain't the work of Cupid. You just trying to clock the Rubik's Cube of life. Some are try from ruthless, others still strive, though it seems useless. So after talking to my mystery lady, I guess the thinking, will it change or forever stay crazy? So as I walk through the valley of the shadow of may peace be with you all. Gosh, it's signing off, now stay with them. Listen, please, Lord, forgive them for they sinning, cause they know not what was written. How we're living, I believe that there will be a change to speak through me. I'm with you all the way, stay with them. Listen, please, Lord, forgive them for they sinning, cause they know not what was written. How we're living, I believe that there will be a change to speak through me. I'm with you all the way,
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I stay composed, no fear complex. Though amongst gritty streets, lost souls and petty beef, I ready heat from my pen on a blank sheet. My rap speed is attract me, taking batons from the crippled and weak that's overworked to eat. They struggling on the grind to find time to sleep, or find it hard to dream or spend their money in peace. My premonition spit like crushed competition. My origins originate from them dark quarters, so I spew fresh water for the dark horses. The race for the faithful, not the swift portions, but to the ones that be looking out for the orphans. These fatherless times and sons bucking with nines before they got hair or puberties even defined. So my definition of a real MC is Christ in tan skin, resembling me, the reflection of reality. Hope is living in clarity. I'm with him, Lord. Be with us, Lord. I'm with him, Lord, cause you with him, Lord. The anguish of villains for hatred in children and chain them as killers till their nature is cold as the winter is chilling. It's grishing with pillars, suffocating their lungs and their feelings. Mothers will miss them puppets in prison, cussing and dealing. Destructive resilience, knuckles and niggas punching they figures. It figures they swallowing liquors and pawns and kindred. Ignored by the system, so bored in the school that they hardly listen. It's hard to dismiss it as just young as lack of attention. Something is missing, depicting puzzling pictures. We fumble with sickness and only use all the medicine for the symptoms. Pedestals for the pimping, perpetual hellish position. I speculate when I spit this, will they ever take injury? Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I stay composed cause you guide my steps. Regardless of what I face, none of it is a threat. For worse or better, all of my trials are for test. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I stay composed cause you guide my steps. Regardless of what I face, none of it is a threat. For worse or better, all of my trials are for test.
Now stay with them. Listen, please, Lord, forgive them for they sinning, cause they know not what was written. How we're living, I believe that there will be a change to speak through me. I'm with you all the way, stay with them. Listen, please, Lord, forgive them for they sinning, cause they know not what was written. How we're living, I believe that there will be a change to speak through me. I'm with you all the way,
And it's the music of Rare Jewels taken from the CD Rare Jewels Mixtape, their first ever CD. Wondering, can they do it again? Can they really do it again? Gonna have to send them an email. You can find them at myspace.com/2020clarity. KLARI to the T to the Y. Okay, we're right back here at the Men Empowered Radio Show. Let's talk. We are getting ready to get back into chapter 12 and finishing up and going to go ahead and go chapter 13. Want to go ahead and just kind of finish up just a little bit where we left off last week before we enter into chapter 4, before we enter into verse 41. And Abram said to them, this is right after he came out of the furnace, do not bow down to me, but bow down to the most high power of this world, who made you, and serve him, and go in his ways, for it is he who delivered me from out of this fire. And it is he who created the souls and spirits of all men, and formed man in his mother's womb, and brought him forth into the world. And it is he who will deliver those who trust in him from all pain. Verse 39. And these things seemed very wonderful in the eyes of the king and princes, that Abram was saved from the fire, that Haran was burned. And the kings gave Abram many presents, and he gave him his 2 head servants from the king's house. The name of one was Oni, and the name of the other was Eliezer. Verse 40. And all the kings, princes, and servants gave Abram many gifts of silver and gold and pearls. And the king and his princes sent him away, and he went in peace. Verse 41. And Abram went forth from the king in peace, and many of the king's servants followed him, and about 300 men joined him. Everybody wants to ride on the boat now after you have proven yourself to be walking with the Most High. They know what is real and they know what is not. They want to be on the Most High side now. Verse 41, and Abram went forth from the king in peace, and many of the king's servants followed him, and about 300 men joined him. And Abram returned on that day, and went to his father's house, he and the men that followed him. And Abram served the Most High, his God, all the days of his life, and he walked in his ways and followed his laws. Oh, so we're not under the law anymore, huh? He followed his laws, his ways, and his laws. How can you say that can be done away with when you don't even know what the laws and his statutes are? Verse 43, and from that day forward, Abram inclined the hearts of the sons of men to serve the Most High. Verse 44, and at that time, Nan and Abram took unto themselves wives, the daughters of their brother Haran. The wife of Nahon was Milcah, and the name of Abram's wife was Sarai. And Sarai, wife of Abram, was barren. She had no offspring in those days. Now you're familiar with the story in Genesis, how she was not having any children, and so she was barren. And so she kind of helped the Most High out and gave Abram one of her handsmaids. That's according to Genesis. Now we're going to look at what happened with Abram and Sarai according to the book of Jasher. Just like you have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They both have different accounts of Yeshua. Yeshara. Verse 45. And at the expiration of 2 years from Abram's going out of the fire, that is in the 52nd year of his life, behold, King Nimrod sat in Babel upon the throne, and the king fell asleep, and dreamed that he was standing with his troops and hosts in a valley opposite the king's furnace. Verse 46. And he lifted up his eyes and saw a man in the likeness of Abram coming forth from the furnace, and that he came and stood before the king with his drawn sword, and then sprang to the king with his sword, when the king fled from the man, for he was afraid. And while he was running, the man threw an egg upon the king's head, and the egg became a great river. Verse 47. And the king dreamed that all his troops sank in that river and died. And the king took flight with 3 men who were before him, and he escaped. Kind of sound like Egypt when they were trying to chase the children of Israel, and they crossed that mighty sea and drowned. Verse 48. And the king looked at his men, and they were clothed in princely dresses, as the garments of kings, and had the appearance of majesty of kings. Now we are at verse 49. And while they were running, the river again turned to an egg before the king, and there came forth from the egg a young bird, which came before the king and flew at his head and plucked out the king's eye. Verse 50. And the king was grieved at that sight, and he awoke out of his sleep, and his spirit was agitated. He felt great terror. Verse 51. And in the morning the king rose from his couch in fear, and he ordered all his wise men and magicians to come before him, when the king related his dreams to them. Verse 52. And a wise servant of the king, whose name was Anaki, answered the king, saying, This is nothing else but the evil of Abram and his seed, which will spring up against my lord and king in the latter days. Verse 53. And behold, the day will come when Abram and his seed and the children of his household will war with my king, and they will smite all the king's host and his troops. Verse 54. And as to what thou hast said concerning 3 men which thou didst see and which did escape, this meant that only thou wilt escape with 3 kings from the kings of the earth, who will be with thee in battle. Verse 55. And that which thou sawest of the river, which turned to an egg as at first, and the young bird plucking out thy eye, this means nothing else but the seed of Abram, which will slay the king in the latter days. Verse 56. This is my king's dream, and this is the interpretation, and the dream is true, and the true interpretation which thy servant has given thee is right. Verse 57. And now therefore, my king, surely thou knowest that it is now 52 years since thy sag saw that at the birth of Abram, and if my king will suffer Abram to live in earth, will be to the injury of my lord and king. For all the days that Abram liveth, neither thou nor thy kingdom will be established. For this was known formerly at his birth. And why will not my king slay him, and that his evil may be kept from thee in latter days? Now, I got to stop right here, because when you are in the council of fools and you are going to try to overthrow the Most High, you are going to fail in all your ways. Here, he still did not learn his lesson from Abram when the Most High brought Abram right out of the fiery furnace that he put him in. Now, this is getting ready to set him up for another failure. Here, his council of fools is getting ready to let this man Nimrod give him some bad advice to go after Abram again. Again. Now you just seen what the Most High had done, and now you're going to try to do something else to this man? Oh, wow. Verse 58. And Nimrod hearkened to the voice of the Anuka, which sounds like to me, y'all, the Anunnaki. And he sent some of his servants in secret to go and seize Abram and bring him before the king to suffer death. See, here we go again. I just got to read that again. And Nimrod hearkened to the voice of Anunnaki, and he sent some of his servants in secret to go and seize Abram and bring him before the king to suffer death. They're going to try it again. Verse 59. And Eleazar, Abram's servant, whom the king had given him, was at that time in presence of the king, and he heard what Anunnaki had advised the king, and what the king had said to cause Abram's death. And Eleazar said to Abram, Hasten, rise up, and save thy soul, that thou mayest not die through the hands of the king, for thus did he see in a dream concerning thee, and thus did Anunnaki interpret it, and thus also did Anunnaki advise the king concerning thee. Foolish, foolish counsel, y'all. Very, very foolish, foolish, foolish counsel. Verse 61. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Eleazar, and Abram hastened and ran for safety to the house of Noah and his son Shem. And he concealed himself there and found a place of safety. And the king's servant came to Abram's house to seek him, but they could not find him. And they searched throughout the country, and he was not to be found. And they went and searched him in every direction, and he was not to be met with. Now, when you get wise counsel to flee, it's time to flee. Just like Christ did when he fled from King Herod and moved into Egypt and to hide among the people. Verse 62, and when the king's servants could not find Abram, they returned to the king, but the king's anger against Abram was still, as they did not find him, and the king drove from his mind this matter concerning Abram. And Abram was concealed in Noah's house for 1 month, until the king had forgotten that matter. But Abram was still afraid of the king, and terror came to see Abram, his son, secretly in the house of Noah. And terror was very great in the eyes of the king. Verse 64, and Abram said to his father, Dost thou know that the king thinketh to slay me, and to annihilate my name from the earth by the advice of his wicked counsel? Verse 65, Now whom hast thou here, and what hast thou in this land? Arise, let us go together to the land of Canaan, that we may be delivered from his hand, lest thou perish also through him in the latter days. Like I told you, this is the reason why Abram had to leave that part of the country, because these people saw one of the most greatest miracles ever in that particular time, and they still not would believe and still would not repent and turn from their wicked ways. They still follow these magicians and these wicked counselors. Okay, Maurice, come on. Verse 6, Dost thou not know, or hast thou not heard, that it is not through love that Nimrod giveth thee all his dishonor, but it is only for his benefit that he bestow all this good upon thee. Verse 67, And if he do unto thee greater good than this, surely these are only vanities of the world, For wealth and riches cannot avail in the day of wrath and anger. Verse 68. Now therefore hearken to my voice, and let us arise and go to the land of Canaan, out of the reach of the injury from Nimrod, and serve thou the Most High, who created thee of all in all the earth. And it will be well with thee, and cast away all the vain things which thou pursuest. Verse 69. And Abram ceased to speak, when Noah and his son Shem answered Terah, saying, True is the word which Abram had said unto thee. Verse 70. And Terah hearkened to the voice of his son Abram, and Terah did all that Abram said. For this was from the Most High, that the king should not cause Abram's death. All right, that is the end of chapter 12. We are going to take a musical break at this time, and we are going to go ahead and get into a little bit of chapter 13. If you have any comments or questions, press 1 on your phone. For those of you all who are in the chat room at this time, you can go ahead and put your comments up as well as your questions, and we will relay that to our audience that is listening via phone or just on their computer and not in the chat room with you. Also, just want to remind you real quickly, I love to hear your comments, whether positive or negative, pro or con, about this subject matter, the Book of Jasher. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know what you're thinking on the Book of Jasher. All right, we'll take another quick break from Rare Jewels. Here's The Gift featuring Clarity.
We proudly present.
Oh my goodness.
We
Wow.
proudly
Hey
present.
yo, Dan. You got some heavy weight on your hands there, partner. But check it, man. I was thinking, what we go through as artists, man, and just, what we go through. Wanting to have that support, man, and home team or whatever, it's kind of like, man. Look, labels ain't got assignment. Nope. Christ already did that. Yep. The moment he hung on the cross, died and came back. My record deal been permanent black. Ink and blood that flow thicker than water when folk don't show me no love. Right. So I still produce, though industry tired of loot. What? I ain't still digging in crates for beat breaks. You know it. Stay spitting numerous gems and keepsakes. The Lord been good to me, gotta give him deep thanks. Thank you. 16 lines that make you call a fireman. Why? Just to put out the flames that's on your mind. Keep my brain on the grind to polish these jewels. Pumping more heart than blood is transfused. Stay smooth in my lane cause my composure is based on nothing man does, just the almighty's grace. Transatlantic connection, sons of God in the booth. Clarity dims on the beat, spitting gifts for living proof. From the moment the beat drop, I leak ink hot, flow through gutters with deep thoughts till it cleans hearts. My people need art cause it inspires revelation. That's my gift, I do it without hesitation. The moment the beat drop, I leak ink hot, flow through gutters with deep thoughts till it cleans hearts. My people need art cause it inspires revelation. That's my gift, I do it without hesitation. It's blatant that men don't value the tongue they was given, but I'm cut from another cloth. Flaw's kinda different. In fact, I spit wisdom like a hustler block pitching. Broke without a pot to piss in, so I pour in ears to listen. He's probably smoked out somewhere angry on that riffing, trying to figure out that short way out of bondage while problems interrogate their brain life, hold them hostage. I'm CIA, clear, intelligent, and awesome. People gather at the flawless tactics, ball and accurate, inside to outside till I'm doing it backward. Head back to the hood, give them truth and classics. This is rap, skip with whack dudes on. From the moment the beat drop, I link ink hot, flow through gutters with deep thoughts till it cleans hearts. My people need art cause it inspires revelation. That's my gift, I do it without hesitation. The moment the beat drop, I leak ink hot, flow through gutters with deep thoughts till it cleans hearts. My people need art cause it inspires revelation. That's my gift, I do it without hesitation. Okay, Vince, check it out. We got something to prove right here, because, a lot of folks believe you can only do certain things certain ways, so check it out, look at it like. So let's talk about keys. Some traffic theirs through drugs, I traffic mine through 16. Packaging and audio, cause my hustle is dreams. Should be the #1 substance purchased by fame. From semi-pro sports to girls that dudes lusted, I had a bit of all of it, but still I can be trusted. Functioning flow fluid, so the flow's like sewage. Funky over top of Denzi's beats, I'm monkey. but not in the way that Charles Darwin would say. Take them back to Genesis, the curse of the arch nemesis, flowing part in your censorship, bold and sponsor initiative. From a sheath, a sword is drawn upon a claimant. The moment the beat drop, I leak ink hot, flow through gutters with deep thoughts till it cleans hearts. My people need art cause it inspires revelation. That's my gift, I do it without hesitation. The moment the beat drop, I leak ink hot, flow through gutters with deep thoughts till it cleans hearts. My people need art cause it inspires revelation. That's my gift, I do it without hesitation.
And we are back right here on Let's Talk, and we are speaking and talking and studying about the Book of Jasher. We are about ready to go ahead and get into chapter 13, but before we do that, we open the phone lines up. We have a call right here, area code 708. Your last four is 0526. I'm going to open your mic up, and we're honored to have you on board with us here, listening here to the Book of Jasher. Hello, Shalom. How you doing out there? Hello, caller. You're on the air. Hello, caller. You are on the air. 708. You are on the air.
Oh, my bad. I was just listening, bro.
Okay, my brother. Shalom. I'm glad to see you here listening to the words of the Most High. This word is awesome, man.
All praise the High Boss and Mishar Wawa.
All right, my brother. Peace unto you.
Peace, rock, shalom. Peace and blessings.
Shalom. Okay, we're continuing on with the Book of Jasher, chapter 13. Want to remind you also about our upcoming show every Tuesday. It's CSI, Crime Scene Investigation. And we are going to go ahead and look into the identity of Esau and Jacob. Esau and Jacob, the continuation. Also on Thursday, don't forget we have a special guest. Former Pastor Dick Allison will be with us here on the Let's Talk show. We will be talking about the death penalty here in the United States of America. He is very passionate about this, why he wants to stop this from going on because of the injustice that has been going on. Looking forward to hearing from what Pastor Dick Allison has to say about that. All right, now we are into the Book of Jasher, chapter 13. The Book of Jasher, chapter 13. And Terah took his son Abram and his grandson Lot, the son of Terah, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, the wife of his son Abram, and all the souls of the household, and went with them from Casdim to the land of Canaan. And when they came as far as the land of Hera, they remained there, for it was exceedingly good land for pasture, and sufficient estate for all those who accompanied them. Verse 2 of chapter 13. And the people of the land of Hera saw that Abram was good and upright with the Most High and men, and that the Most High, his God, was with him. And some of the people of the land of Hera came and joined Abram, and he taught them the instructions of the Most High and his ways. And these men remained with Abram in his house, and they adhered to him. Verse 3. And Abram remained in the land 3 years. And at the expiration of 3 years, the Most High appeared to Abram and said to him, I am the Most High, who brought thee forth from Casdim and delivered thee from the hands of all thy enemies. And now, verse 4, and now, therefore, if thou wilt hearken to my voice and keep my commandments, my statutes, and my laws, then will I cause thy enemies to fall before thee, and I will multiply thy seed like the stars of heaven, and I will send my blessing upon all the works of thy hands, and thou shalt lack nothing. Verse 5. You know what? I gotta read that again. Verse 4. Because we think that whatever we do by throwing money in the collection plate and everything, that we're gonna get everything belongs to us. But not so. Verse 4 again. And now, therefore, if thou wilt hearken to my voice and keep my commandments, my statutes, and my laws, then will I cause thy enemies to fall before thee, and I will multiply thy seed like the stars of heaven, and I will send my blessing upon all the works of thy hand, and thou shalt lack nothing. Verse 5. Arise now, take thy wife, all belongings to thee, and go to the land of Canaan, and remain there, and I will there be unto you for a God, and I will bless thee. And Abram rose and took his wife and all belongings to him, and he went to the land of Canaan as the Most High had told him. And Abram was 50 years old when he went from Haran. Verse 6. And Abram came to the land of Canaan and dwelt in the midst of the city, and he there pitched his tent among the children of Canaan, inhabitants of the land. Verse 70. And the Most High appeared to Abram when he came to the land of Canaan, and said to him, This is the land which I gave unto thee and to thy seed after thee forever, and I will make thy seed like the stars of heaven, and I will give unto thy seed for an inheritance all the lands which thou seest. Verse 8. And Abram built an altar in the place where the Most High had spoken to him, and Abram there called upon the name of the Most High. At that time, verse 9, at that time, the end of 3 years of Abram dwelling in the land of Canaan, in that year Noah died, which was the 58th year of the life of Abram. And all the days that Noah lived were 950 years, and he died. Verse 10, and Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, he, his wife, and all belonging to him, and all those that accompanied him, together with those that joined him from the people of the land. But Nahon, Abram's brother, and Terah, his father, and Lot, the son of Haran, and all belonging to them, dwelt in Haran. Verse 11, in the 5th year of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah and all the cities of the plain revolted from the power of the Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, for all the kings of the city of the plain had served Chedorlaomer for 12 years, and given him a yearly tax. But in those days, in the 13th year, they rebelled against him. Verse 12, and in the 10th year of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, there was war between Nimrod, king of Shinar, and the Chedorlaomer, king of Elam. And Nimrod came to fight with Chedorlaomer and to subdue him. Verse 13, for Chedorlaomer was at that time one of the princes of the host of Nimrod. And when all the people at the tower were dispersed, and those that remained were also scattered upon the face of the earth. Chedorlaomer went to the land of Elam and reigned over it and rebelled against his Lord. Verse 14, and in those days when Nimrod saw that the cities of the plain had rebelled, he came with pride and anger to war with Chedorlaomer. And Nimrod assembled all the princes and subjects, about 700,000 men, and went against Chedorlaomer. And Chedorlaomer went out to meet him with 5,000 men. And they prepared for battle in the valley of Babel, which is between Elam and Shinar. Verse 15. And all those kings fought there, and Nimrod and his people were smitten before the people of Chedorlaomer. And there fell from Nimrod's men about 600,000, and Mardon's, the king's son, fell among them. Verse 16, and Nimrod fled and returned in shame and disgrace to his land, and he was under subjection to Chedorlaomer for a long time. And Chedorlaomer returned to his land and sent princes of his host to the kings that dwelt around him, to Arak, king of Elazar, and to Tyndale, king of Goim, and made a covenant with them, and they were all obedient to his commands. Verse 17, and it was in the 15th year of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, which is the 70th year of his life of Abraham. And the Most High appeared to Abram in the year, and he sent to him, I am the Most High who brought thee out of Ur Chaldees to give thee this land for an inheritance. Verse 18, now therefore walk before me and be perfect and keep my commandments, for to thee and to thy seed I will give this land for an inheritance from the river Mizraim unto the great river Euphrates. Verse 19, and thou shalt come to thy fathers in peace and in good age, and the fourth generation shall return here in this land and shall inherit it forever. And Abram built an altar, and he called upon the name of the Most High who appeared to him, and he brought up sacrifices upon the altar to the Most High. Verse 20, at that time Abram returned and went to Haran to see his father and mother and his father's household, and Abram and his wife and all his belongings to him returned to Haran. And Abram dwelt in Haran for 5 years. Verse 21, and many of the people of Haran, about 72 men, followed Abram, and Abram taught them the instructions of the Most High and his ways, and he taught them to know the Most High. Seems like Abram is taking on the role of the evangelist here by teaching the people the Most High's ways. Verse 22, in those days the Most High appeared to Abram in Haran, and he said to him, behold, I spoke unto thee these 20 years back, saying, go forth from thy land, from the birthplace, and from my father's house, to the land which I have shown thee, to give it to thee and to thy children. For there in that land will I bless thee, and make thee a great nation, and make thy name great, and in thee shall the families of the earth be blessed. Verse 24, now therefore arise, go forth from this place, thou, thy wife, and all the belongings to thee, also everyone born in thy house, and all the souls thou hast made in Haran, and bring them out from thee from here, and rise to return to the land of Canaan. My question is, why did he leave the first time? I mean, why did he leave to go back to the place where his father was? I mean, he went back there to visit his father. If that's fine, why back in that land for 5 years? Wow, that's something, for 5 years. And then the Most High gets on him again and tell him to go back to the land of Canaan. Verses 25. And Abram arose and took his wife Sarai and all belongings to him, and all that were born to him in his house, and the souls which they had made in Haran. And they came out to go to the land of Canaan. Verse 26. And Abram went and returned to the land of Canaan, according to the word of the Most High. And Lot, the son of his brother Haran, went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he went forth from Haran to return to the land of Canaan. Verse 27. And he came to the land of Canaan according to the word of the Most High to Abram. And he pitched it, and he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, and with him was Lot, his brother's son, and all belongings to him. Verse 28. And the Most High again appeared to Abram and said to thy seed, will I give the land? And he there built an altar to the Most High, who appeared to him, which is still to this day in the plains of Mamre. Now this is the end of chapter 13. I hope you all got a good bit of understanding on that. We are going to take our final break here, and we are going to be right back, and we're going to talk about chapter 14 and closing it up real quickly, and we're going to prepare for next Sunday, the Book of Jasher, chapter 14. Here's Rare Jewels again with another clip. Stay tuned. Their first hit right here on Let's Talk.
This is Nana. You're in tune to Rare Jewels with Clarity and Zen's on the beat. Keep it locked.
Real. This is Proverbs the Wise. Representing VA, and you're in tune to the Rare Jewels mixtape with Clarity and Zen's on the beat. Keep it locked. For real.
Yeah, baby. You tuned in to Rare Jewels. You got the right station. Don't touch that dial. Let's go. Yes, sir. Clarity and Clear Channel, a.k.a. Kid Cobalt, a.k.a. Paradise Skills. I'm supposing it's right to exhale light, so I breathe through mics the oxygen that I write. Opposite of fatal attractions, a theme with advice that I give away free, though it's worth a serious price. You know it. We in a day, a technological advancement. What God has made in Memphis, people's growth is backwards. Money piles up right next to their caskets. Modern day pharaohs get buried in their mansions. Frequency of the world set to an odd number. Rap music got guns, pop music gay lovers. Is it undercovers or so blatant we numb? Well, maybe not all of us, but a grandson. I kick a verse for the sons in the slums to learn. The world is yours, baby, but be wise with your turn. Cause as the world turns, the signs confirm. Hell's getting closer as the ozone burns. But listen, you tuned into the right station, man. Listen, don't touch that dial. This is the birth of the niggas' redemption. From where? From the plantation of the hood where I made my entrance. slain by the system, renamed by the lynchmen. My pain now positions me for a new existence. My resurrection, I got my hood on my back. And my family tree that they tried to axe. I'm Paul with these raps, and I'ma take y'all to act. Show y'all Diana and our sister's booty crack. It's so heavy when revelation breaks your face. You know it. Who cares that you rockin' those babe and apes? When the whole world is full of babes and apes. Cowards with guns that wouldn't bust the grape. This is God's wrath you taste. Our podcast is grace, and Comcast is face to the broadcast is great. Welcome to the kingdom that Jay-Z hinted at, and the truth behind fraud that Nas wanted back. Listen, got the right station, man. It's a very clear channel, you know what I'm saying? It's clarity, paradise skills. Listen. I'm supposing I'm Moses when I pose with the boldness. Telling old Pharaoh face to face, you so bogus. Baloney with halitosis, I'm about to smash your cronies in chunks. No rollies, low budget, I roll holy, but blow and smash totally. Idols that kill poetry, flowing how it's supposed to be. Notice how I'm an open sea, but filtered through a fountain of faith. So y'all better build an art, cause the rain got a date. And when the tide go up, say bye to hell's gate. How low to God's face, cause then heaven is the place. Jesus said that earth was meant to be. Thy kingdom come is something that we all supposed to see. His will being done is his people being free. But that'll never happen till those people do believe. And I'm one that does, so get ready to receive. Stay tuned.
And it's the music of Rare Jewels, taken from their CD, first CD, Rare Jewels Mixtape. You can find them at cdbaby.com as well as myspace.com. Well, we're just about getting ready to wrap it up here. We're going to go to chapter 13 next week, which will be next month, and that will be Sunday's broadcast. February the 3rd, 2013, we will be in the Book of Jasher chapter 13 right here on Blog Talk Radio. Also, just want to remind you real quickly, CSI right here on Blog Talk Radio at 8 p.m. Now, before I go, even though we're going to talk about chapter 13 next Sunday, I did say that we were going to kind of focus a little bit close to about 3 other days or so about these holidays here. Let me tell you about, since February is getting started next month, let me tell you about these pagan holidays of February. Pagans in Rome celebrated the evening of February the 14th and February the 15th, and as an idolatrous festival in honor of Lupercus, the hunter of wolves. It was not until the reign of Pope Gasian that the holiday became a Christian custom. As far back as 496, Pope Gasian changed Lupercalia on February the 15th to St. Valentine's Day on February the 14th. The origin St. Valentine was Nimrod. On this day in February, Semiramis, the mother of Nimrod, was said to have been purified and to have appeared for the first time in public with her son as the original mother and child. That is the history of Valentine's Day right here on Blog Talk Radio, touching up a little bit of the evil holidays. You can find this at www.nazarene.net/evil-holidays. Okay, let's see if we got any final comments before you leave. I do want to hear from you all through email or comment right here on the show, either positive or negative. Let us know what you think about the Book of Jasher. Love to hear from your comments. I will read your emails right here on the broadcast as we speak. Area code 708. Area code 708. Do you have any questions or comment, my brother?
No, sir.
Area code. Okay. I just had noticed you hit that 1, and I thought you had a question or comment, but it's all good, bro.
No, it's just somebody just do that sometimes. I don't know why I do that.
Okay. No problem. It's all good, bro. Shalom to you. Okay, we're just about getting ready to wrap it up. Just want to let you know we got a host full of people for the month of February coming up, Black History Month, or you can say Hebrew History coming up. Last week, if you want to check out last week's show, we did have quite a few folks listening to the broadcast. We are up to over 800 people listening to our show in the archives as we speak. So every show, there's about 800 listeners listening to the Book of Jasher, as well as Crime Scene Investigation, and our show on Thursday night, Let's Talk. So I want to thank our audience for listening. That shows us that you are hungry for God's word. And just tell somebody else. Let me hear from you from the Men Empowered email address, menempoweredtoprosper@yahoo.com. As well, you can hit us up on our voicemail, as well as our phone lines when we're not here on the air. You can give us a call at area code 504-484-9388. Also, menempowered@twitter.com. And I think I'm going to shut up. I'm going to grab me some green tea. And before I get out of here, I want to wish everyone well for the next week, for this week, since this is the first day of the week. Hope everyone will have a super fantastic Sabbath coming up on Friday night. Don't forget, the Gathering of Christ is here at Blog Talk Radio, so check them out. Go into a deeper study with Elder Ricard, the lawyer, and the host of all the brothers there at Gathering of Christ Church. And I'm through. I'm done. It's been good. We're going to get with chapter 13 on Sunday next week at 7 p.m. Until next time, shalom, my brothers and sisters. Here is Joel McCrae, gospel jazz artist right here. Joel McCrae, you can find his CD at cdbaby.com. Joel McCrae. Shalom. This is a song for you.